Couture, everybody, Coach Rab here, and welcome to another Kilted Chess Noob episode. No, I'm not a chess coach, not even close. I'm a health and wellness coach that happens to love chess. But today's episode is all about brain training. Now, brain training is exactly as it sounds, it's exercising your mind, and chess is a fantastic way of doing that. Why? Because when you work with chess, you're training your brain, you're exercising the prefrontal cortex to recognize patterns, to strategize, to plan ahead, to assess risk. It helps with memory function as well, and a whole bunch of other good stuff. But ultimately, doing at least 20 minutes of puzzles every single day is very, very good for the top 2 inches. Now, with brain training, you can also challenge your brain in other ways with Sudokus and crosswords and all these sorts of things. But chess is a nice, fun way to do it. And when you get better at it, you get a dopamine release as well as you successfully complete said puzzle. So every single day, I try and do 20 minutes minimum of puzzles. Now, I can understand there's some people that maybe have no interest in playing a game of chess because they maybe think it's out their depth. But I would strongly recommend trying the puzzles, because the puzzles themselves is no different than any other puzzle you do in life. There's a solution to it, and you try and work your way through to get it. Like I say, when you get it right, you'll get the dopamine release. And in the meantime, knowing the rules and framework of chess, if you have a basic grasp of the rules, you can then start to assess, plan, strategize, look at things, and then try and get to the solution. So today, what we're going to do is spend at least 20 minutes doing puzzles. I'm going to select puzzles that I've failed. There's chess.com, which is free to sign up, by the way, has a fantastic setting on it that you can go back and redo puzzles that you failed previously. So I'm going to go with that, and I'll talk through the thought processes that we have as we're doing it. Okay, so let's get stuck into some puzzles. So, black to move. Now, at the moment, our queens are kissing, and they have a bit of a barrage set up at the moment, which is a bit of a pickle. Let's see what else we have in the mix. So, if we pull the queen back to here, that would be a check. And the king cannot go there because of this rook. So it forces either the queen to cover, in which case they'd lose the queen, or it forces the king into the corner. Then from there, we'll be able to jump up, and that should be a checkmate. Let's see. So I think we've got to pull back to here, because if we don't, if we go to there, they'll just gobble us. So we pull the queen back. I think that's right. Oh, they covered. Well, that's even sillier, because then we take, and then we've got the puzzle correct. Now, if the queen hadn't covered, the king would have moved, and we would have got a checkmate on there anyway. So one in the bag. So we have a bit of a dopamine release. Apparently that puzzle rating was 1381. So there we go. One in the bag. Okay, black to move. What have we got here? The king has just recently been put in check and then has moved to avoid it. This queen is covering these lines. It's also got eyes on the rook. Our own king is close to getting into hot water, so whatever we do next kind of has to be a check, because otherwise they're going to put us into hot water, I think. So let's have a look at this. If we put our queen up to there, that would be a check. The king would just move down, and then what would happen? Then we'd be put in check again. Check. Are we missing anything here? Let's just have a look. That's one check we can put on the king. Is there any other checks? We can't go here because they'll gobble us. If we could go here actually. If we go there, let's see. If we go check there, the king moves, but then we don't really have a follow-up. So if we go check up here, king can go there or there. We'll have to bring this rook into play. Will we try that? That was wrong, so that's not it. Let's try pulling down the way. That's wrong, that's not it. Let's get the hint. Let's get the hint. Where would we be? What we got to move? Hint. This. Oh, why didn't I just do that first? There's check there. That was a checkmate. Let's look back at it, like, for goodness sake. There we go. So this was covered, that was all covered. I should have noticed. I should have just put in check first of all, And then they have got no choice to block, otherwise checkmate. So there we are. There we are. Okay, there we go. Next puzzle. Let's have a look. Right, black to move. Right now, where is our queen's down here? What are the dangers? So we could create a check here, but we'd lose that. And then this could come flying in. Would that be about right? Check into the corner. Checkmate. Would that be right? Let's just see. Oh no, because if I take, they can take with the bishop. So that might not be right. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Any other attacking options? Let's just see. If we take, check. I mean, they could. If they take with the pawn, we know what we're doing. Oh no, that's not right. I feel like we need to utilize this. So if we put in check, they have no way to block unless they block with knight. That'd be silly. But then, oh no, it is that? Look. So we put in check, right? The king can't come here because it's protected by the queen. So they have to block. So that's the first move. And that was the only move. There we are. So sometimes these puzzles, they have some multiple moves. Sometimes it's just one. But ultimately, they would have had to block there with the knight. And then that would have zoomed in. And that would have then been a checkmate. So there we go. Happy days. Next one, let's have a look. White to move this time. Right. White to move. What have we got on here? This queen is forking this, or is going for that knight. However, the knight can jump, and that would be a fork on the king and the rook. Is there anything better? Everything else is covered. So it can't take that pawn, it's protected. Can't take that, it's protected. So I think it's a jump in here, and because it's check, they have to deal with it. There's nothing that can take our knight, so we should be able to gobble the rook. So it should be check. There we are. It'd be in check. The king would have to move, and then we would gobble them. So that's an 1168 puzzle. There we go. Right, next move. Let's see. We do have the king is in a lot of trouble here. The bishop swoops in, puts in check. It's protected by the knight, and the knight also protects the escape square. So that should be a checkmate. You got that one right? Yay, happy days. Right, here we are. Okay, next one. Black to move on this one. Our queen is under attack. And it's also defended, the rook that's attacking it is defended by the bishop. What else do we have here? We don't want to take the pawn to escape, because then that's a check and that would be problematic. So something better. If we push this pawn, that's a check. Right, and it forces the king to this square. Then I think we have to sack our queen. They take, and then that should be a checkmate. So that should be take there, they run, and we're going to have to sack and take. Hey, there's another one in the bag. That's a 1297 puzzle. Okay, good. With all these ones, you look at it and you're always trying to see if something's plausible. And if sometimes you might see a solution, you try and look for a better or cleaner one as well. Right, next one along, what have we got here? Black to move. So the white king is way up here, but that's not necessarily the main beef. If we take their queen, they take us back. So is there anything better? We kind of have to though, right? Let me just see. Although maybe it's the promotion thing. So let's just have a look at that. If we take, they take, and then we run. I think that's it. So it's take, run. and then run. We got another queen. Hey, there we go. So you can promote pawns into queens for those. So that was an end game puzzle there. So it's amazing I got that one wrong. 1343 that rate was. There we go. Right, next puzzle. Let's have a look. Where are we? White to move. Our queen is under attack from the knight, but it does have eyes up here and it's backed up by the bishop. That would be checkmate because nothing can take it and the king can't run. So that's just a straightforward boom, check. That was an 831. I actually got that one wrong. It's funny, sometimes you can look at a puzzle and just not see the solution because you're too busy looking at something else. So that was an easier one. There we go. Right, white to move on this one. Let's have a look. The enemy rook is down here. Our king is here. Now, if we do check up the top, the king has to run. Then what happens after that? We need to know the follow-up. What would the follow-up be? Is there any other way we can... Oh, look. Check forces the king to there, then we come right back to this square, which will put him in check again, and then we gobble the rook. That's what it'll be. So we go up here, check, he runs, we come down, check, he blocks, and then we gobble. Yay! So sometimes it's winning material, it's not always a checkmate, so we'll take that one. Right, let's look at what's happening here. White to move. Now this is an interesting one because this is covering that square, so if we can get the queen in, we're in business. This pawn is pinned. Now what that means is it can't take that because of this on the king. So I think, is there anything better? I think we just push the queen forward here and then there's nothing they can do. Yeah, that's it. Because then it doesn't matter what they do after that, it's going to be a checkmate next move. So that's a win. That was a 1288, that puzzle. Right, let's have a look here. Okay, so what we've got a knight here. Now the knight is under attack, but checks supersede anything else. So we could potentially swoop in and put the king in check, and it's protected by this knight. That would force the king over here because it can't go there because of the knight. And then what's the follow-up? That is going to be more likely the check. He runs. If we put him in check again, it forces the king down the way. And then is it check again? Yes, because this square's covered. So look, it's going to be check. The king has to run to this square. Then we push the queen to there. The king has to run to here. Now when the queen's sitting there, then when we take this pawn, he can't run back the way, he can't go down this way because the knight, and he can't run that way because the queen. So it's boom, take, check, boom, boom. That was an 1174. That seemed a bit more, you need a bit more vision with that one, I guess. All right. Let's have a look. Next one. White to move. So their king is blocked in the corner. That square is covered, but then the bishop is under attack. Oh, this is a nice one. So what we're going to have to do is sacrifice the queen. So we're going to have to go boom. That puts him in check. The king has no choice but to take. Then we swoop across. And that would be checkmate because he can't run to there because of this, and he can't run to there because of that. He'll probably then try and block with the queen, and then we'll take anyway. So we take here, check, he blocks with the queen, boom! That's a 1282. Oh, there we go. So those are called H7 sacrifices. So there we are, because it was on the H7 square. Right, next one, white to move. Let's have a look. What have we got on here? The king is right here. Our king is in a lot of hot water here because it's got a bishop, knight, and a queen all in play. Let's see. Because if he comes down to there, game's a bogey, right? So whatever we need to do needs to deal with that quite quickly. I think we're going to have to take the rook. And then when he jumps down here, we're going to have to take the knight. I think it's going to have to take the rook. Is there anything better? Oh, no, there is something better. So this is classic Rab, right? I'm too busy looking at my own situation. If I throw my queen away up here, that's what's known as a back rank checkmate. The only thing you can do is block with a rook, and then it's game over anyway. So see how if my queen comes to this corner, the king has no escape, because king can only move one space. It can move to there, but it's still in trouble, so it's going to be games of bogey. He'll block with a rook, back rank checkmate. That's the thing, you've always got to look for a better one. Right, next one. There is no back rank because it's protected by this. Black to move. This rook is in hot water because the queen is going to gobble it next. So we do have our knight here. Now we do have a barrage on the king, and I don't think there's anything they can do about that. So that is it. The queen should just jump in, checkmate, nice and easy. Yeah, that was a 960. Yeah, it's always important that you don't get so fixated on, like, you look at your king and you look at what's going over here, but you forget to look around the board. There is 64 squares to look at, so. Right, oh, endgame stuff, white to move. Now this is actually an interesting one because it's going to be a checkmate for me in a moment. So I'm going to push the rook up. So this is because your king is a weapon also, and it's protecting these 3 squares. The queen's got him, but none of the other kings. So the rook comes up, puts in check. You can't run in this direction. Okay, so from that position there, yeah, that is the checkmate there. Boom. So the king cannot escape. And then, well, I suppose he would step forward, and then my king would stab him down. So, right, next one. Where are we now? Black to move. So this square here is protected, so that should be the checkmate square. I'm not under threat, I'm quite safe, so that should just be checkmate, no problem. There we go. It's interesting to think I would have got that wrong once upon a time. Okay. White to move on this one. Now let me see. It's all congestion here. So this king is blocking that king's escape square. This is blocking the escape square as well. So actually, I just need to be able to put him into check in such a way but then also that rook is hanging. Is it just take the rook? Is it a better? If I go there, he could just run back up the way, couldn't he? Did I just take? I think it's just take the rook. No, it's not. Is it that? No. What was it? This? No. What am I missing here? That? Well, we know it's going to be the queen move, right? Oh, you push the pawn. Ah. It's protected by the king. The king can't go there because the queen can't go there because the queen can't go there. Oh well, there we go. You're doing so well for so long. Right, let's have a look at this. We have a queen coming up and it's protected by the knight. That would force the king that way, but he can't come all the way that way because of that square. So that would be check. He runs and that should be checkmate. Yeah, because that square is covered. There we go. Next one. White to move. I wonder, let's just see. So this pawn is stopping the king's escape square. So I think if we bring this rook to here, it covers that entire line. He can't run there, he can't run there, and this one covers this whole line, so that should just be a checkmate there. Hey, there we go. Right, next one. So we've got this white to move, black king in the center, and problems. Now, if I bring this right in, that should be a checkmate. They can't run that way because of that. They can't run that way because of this. That should be checkmate. There we go. Happy days. Next one. Black to move. Now this, let's just see. Okay, it's not a straight checkmate because he would just run. I think we need to move the king in to protect these squares. Yeah, so move the king first of all. He's now got a queen, that's a problem. Do we just take the queen? I think we do, we have to. Now he's jumped back there. Now it's check, block, mate, that's it. There we go, got that one in the end. Let's just see, this is a tricky one. So what have we got here? So although the king's all seems to defend, it's white to move. If we launch in the back here, the king has no escape squares and nothing can take. So it's a back rank checkmate. Hey, there we go again. We'll do a few more and then we'll call it there, because it's nice to just do little short bouts where you still stay fresh. My attention span eventually goes down and I don't do as well. So. Right, let's just see. White to move. There is a king on the back rank, of course. If we do this, they might just block. What else have we got? This is very dangerous because it's going to be a checkmate. So whatever I do needs to be checking. So if we check, if he blocks with this one, we just take, right? If he blocks with this one, we bring the bishop in for check, moves the king and checkmate. So let's just see what he does. Block, take, he moves that one, check, run, checkmate, which was close because we were one move away from getting slammed ourselves. We want to make sure we're the ones getting the grand slamming in. Right, we're almost going to get checkmate in the corner here. White to move. So again, when checkmate is looming, you have to have checking moves, which are forcing moves. What can we do? The king is on a white square. We do have a white square bishop. This rook is cutting off this line, so this is also affecting the escape square. Now, if I go check, he can't run back the way, and he can't go there or there. So the only square he can go to is there. What's the follow-up though? Is it the knight? So let's just see. That should be the first move. Check. There isn't a follow-up move then. Well, there would be in the game, but king would only be able to go there. I wonder what the follow-up move would be. Let's check there. He would if he was there, we could check again. Who knows? Right, we'll go for one more. Flex these chess brain muscles. Right, so right now we've got that square could be under attack by the queen. And that would be a checkmate because he can't run there because the queen will be there and he can't do anything about it. There's nothing else. Nothing better, so I think that's the checkmate. There we go. So every day I try and do at least 20 minutes of puzzles. These were previous puzzles that I had failed, so it's quite good to go back and try and complete them. They do give you a rating on chess.com, but you can go, there's Lee Chess as well, which I believe is completely free and gives you unlimited puzzles. I think they give you a puzzle rating in that one as well. And the bottom line is you're exercising the mind, you're recognizing patterns, you're strategizing, you're planning ahead. It's good for memorization. very, very good for you. So I would recommend trying the chest puzzles at the very least for 20 minutes a day. As always, please like, comment and subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.